Is it still streaming, is it? Or is it recording?
On timing. How long do you get for a break? 5 minutes. Surely you must know it. Don't check your phone.
So we're just waiting on Michael Walsh to return to the match table. I think he's taking his time out after that first frame. Michael Walsh from
the University of York.
Ah, cool. I think I remember Michael from last year, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know where Adam's from, though. Possibly
Durham University first, I think.
Thank you very much. A man with some knowledge.
Mike Walsh, University of England snooker captain.
Oh, is he?
Seeded number 8 in this competition.
Cool.
Hope to be winning this one, you imagine.
Joined for commentary this afternoon with Luke. I'm assuming you're from the University of York.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But unbiased commentary.
Yeah. They started this match before we actually got back, so we kind of missed the first half of this first frame, but obviously not too much. We're back live now.
I think Adam dominated the first frame with a covering the pocket with the length of the table yellow. Won it from there when Mike fouled. I'll dislodge it.
Obviously being a snooker player and obviously being the number 8 seed means that Michael's got a little bit of pedigree. I remember him from last year's event. But Adam, I know very little about. It's always very difficult with these university games because very rarely do you know the players.
Oh, Mike's gone off there. Not going to be happy about that. Otherwise, very good split. Mike using his 9-ball breaking cue there to break where he doesn't want to damage the tip on his snooker cue. But he did confess to me earlier that one of the big weaknesses of the game is the break. So
it tends to be the case with snooker players, actually. The weakness is the break. A lot of players as well who come from this game and then go and play American pool also, then they struggle with the break as well. It's completely different on the bigger tables with the bigger balls.
I think he might be saved by this cluster at the bottom. I think Adam will have to play a pretty good dislodge of one of the reds to do it in one. Get the dish.
A couple of tricky balls, the one to the left of the black and the one on the right hand side rail, both a little bit tricky. He's going to find a way of developing them.
Cue ball going.
A little bit unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Cue ball drops in the middle, gives Mike 2 visits now.
What's more, he opened up the 2 yellows around the black to the bottom right corner pocket.
I think they're both now popped to the bottom right, as you say.
Yeah. He has to find a way to develop the yellow on the right hand side of the table. But he's got 2 shots, so you fancy him.
So how are you faring in the tournament, or are you
I'm alright.
just here as the designated commentator?
I failed in the first round. I came up against a strong competitor from Queen's First,
right,
and I lost in deciding frame, unfortunately. But get to watch Mike play now.
Actually, at the UPC events, we find they're particularly short matches as well in the singles, like in the first couple of rounds last night. First to 3. These ones first to 4.
Anyone's got a chance.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, a bit more of a lottery. Difficult to get started, maybe. I don't know.
No.
If you go 2 behind, difficult to come back.
Be interesting, Mike using his timeout right at the start of the match there. Must have not liked that defeat in the first frame.
That's right.
think Mike's eyeing up how to get onto this yellow towards the bottom left corner. But it's pretty hard. He's close to the cushion. He won't be able to get much back on it. Have to run forward for another ball.
I think in this tournament, being a seeded player doesn't necessarily mean on paper you're going to have an easy ride through towards the latter stages, because obviously you've got players that are joining the universities every single year who are going to be
have a high standard,
strong competitors. Yeah. Like for example, we've got Medway here for the first time this time, which I believe are from Kent, Medway, and they've got 3 county players and 2 intermediate players. So, but they're playing in the Shield. You know.
I think it just helped Mike. He's not going to come across anyone who he thinks is going to beat him in the early rounds. Might have a bit of psychological advantage over the players, given his seed.
Taking these out well, once he's got the opportunity.
The key was going to run away from the black ball though after he pots this. Have to put a dead weight, leave himself the cut.
He does have the option of playing this into the top right-hand corner, leaving a better shot on the black, but
harder shot, easier position.
Playing this at dead weight, he should just be able to just drop this in, unless he looks like he's screwing across the table here. No, just drops it in, leaves himself a decent angle on this black to hopefully level this match back up.
That's clinical clearance from Mike. Good to get the first frame on the board, settle himself down. Adam a bit unlucky in that frame. Go for the dislodge and get it off.
So are you playing for York Firsts?
I'm playing for the York third team at the moment, unfortunately.
It's all for the third team. Is it more of a social side?
I don't know. I'd hope to. We recently played in the Nottingham University Championship and we came runner up in the trophy. Okay. So we'd hope to do even more than just booze up, really. We've got a strong team, but quite a strong second team. So I think it should be all right. Red into the centre pocket there from Adam.
I was going to say one of the key shots in pool, of course, is the break. And if you can make a ball off the break, then of course you've got control of that table, which is what these players want.
Adam on his first break and his second break, keeping the keyboard in the middle of the table as well, giving him optimum position.
So is it a big pool club at York? Is it a big sport up there?
No, it's by far the most successful sports club at our university.
Yeah. So
I think it's the major sport for, well, certainly the most talented people like Mike and Matt Robson. So. Adam's gone for yellows. Seems to be nice and open at the moment. Don't think that yellow passes the red along the bottom there. It's the only thing I'll have to sort out.
This yellow along the top rail. Happy to just tie up the pocket there.
Played that a lovely way. Mike's going to have awkward queuing here, no matter what ball he plays. Bridging over the red in front of him.
John Swarbrick, York. John Swarbrick, York. 10 minutes.
think he's leaving himself the dislodge angle, playing the red to middle. Oh no, walks around the table again. Lovely shot by Mike there, playing it to middle and dislodging the red, making it go to the bottom left corner pocket. I think it just sneaks by the yellow.
A good point Luke was making off Mike there. These University Championships live all weekend on Q Sport TV. We're here for the duration of the tournament, starting obviously today with the, and then finishing up with the culmination of the team and the individual finals on Sunday. And every single match that is shown live is also recorded, so will be available at a future date for online viewing. Over 400 players, I believe, here as well. 408 entries for the singles. Right.
Tough competition to win.
Only 16 players were seeded through to the last 128, so they've the favour they've done themselves is saving themselves 2 matches, really. I'm not quite sure how the seeding system works.
I was told it was based on previous 3 years' performance, but also taking into account reputation. I think, if we're honest with Mike, it doesn't often make it, that hasn't made it that far in the competition for a year or so. So I think it might be a bit based on like his known ability,
right? Okay.
As opposed to just past performances.
Our number 1 seed this year is Lee Morris, who got to the final last year, but the previous year he actually won the event. So in terms of his results, you couldn't
clear favourite. Yeah,
you couldn't have had much better than that. But he is probably on paper his favourite. There's a couple of lads here this year that it's their first year at the event, like Temujin Dixon from Leicester, who is well known on the UK pool scene anyway, making his first outing at the university event. He's come through 2 rounds, so I know he's into the last 128. But it can always be the luck of the draw as well sometimes.
Mike playing the long tactical battle in this frame, which you've got to think he'd have the advantage in. Tends not to win the frames, certainly university practice, with huge clearances, more grinding down, covering pockets.
Should be nicknamed the Grinder, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I think all that snooker practice made him a very tactical man. Steve Davis of York University.
By describing him as Steve Davis, you mean old and past it, do you?
Quite old. I think a lot of people in the pool club are wondering if he's ever going to leave university.
Oh, right.
Or he's going to carry on as a lecturer purely to play in this event.
I thought you had to be a genuine student.
Oh, no, he's doing his PhD in physics at the moment.
I know there's been a number of people like that who've been at university for what seems like 9 years.
Yeah, well, certainly the York University first team is quite an aged affair at the moment. Mike Walsh, Luke Fleet and Matt Robson all seemingly doing their 5th PhD.
A 5th PhD?
The first. It seems never ending for those vying to get in the first team, though.
And what's he doing his PhD in?
But Mike's doing his PhD in physics.
Oh, right. Did you just say that a second ago? I think
I
you
did.
Yeah.
Starts again tomorrow morning, 9:30 at the Shields. The individual championship will be played up to and including the quarter-finals. So by the end of today, we'll be down to the last 4. The individual championship will be concluded tomorrow evening, Saturday.
Mike's left himself a bit of a quandary here.
Championship, we'll be running some flyers. So we can provide further details on this as due course.
I brought my cue just for that very reason this year. To play in a flyer. Two guys we've got on cameras here for Q Sport TV this week actually do qualify. They're both actually at university. Well, James is. Glenn's taking a year out. But
Mike's playing twice across the table. Danger again in the middle pocket.
you called it, and it's gone in.
Very unfortunate. You got to say it was always danger. There's very low margin for error that shot, both the direction and how hard he had to play it. Now you got to think Adam with 4 balls in the open has got to be the favourite. I believe Durham's got quite a strong team this and quite a lot of depth this year. York Seconds upset by them in the first round of the group stage by drawing 5-all, a game they previously expected to do well in. Obviously bring quite a strong team. He's missed that one to the corner, but
I don't know if he's missed that deliberately. Missed that deliberately in order to give himself better position, but he's not played a good shot on the black there.
I don't believe he did. He's left the white ball after the first shot. It's left in quite an interesting position here because it looks from my angle like he's straight into the far jaw of the bottom left corner pocket. He can flick off that, cover the pocket, have a good chance of winning the frame still. I think that's what. Played to middle. That's a great shot.
Using that 9-ball cue again to break off. This time he's managed to park the white ball right in the centre of the table. He's got a ball down, a yellow, gone into the top left corner as you're looking.
Got to say, I was quite fortunate. If you look as that broke off, his cue ball hit both sides of the middle jaw to avoid the in-off. Breathes a sigh of relief, and now it looks like...
Some people would describe that as precision, they wouldn't they?
Oh, very precise. I think he'll be looking at reds, unless I'm not seeing something. Covering the bottom right corner pocket. A very useful shot there, potting the red, but also tying up one of Adam's yellows. So if the visit does come to an end, very hard for Adam to win it. He consolidates that with covering the pocket.
Yes, I think this is one of the potential problems with world rules. There's far too much covering of pockets going on.
I think it takes a lot of getting used to. I certainly grew up playing a lot more 9-ball than this. And
obviously, you've got 2 governing bodies for this type of game. You've got the World 8-Ball Pool Federation, which is the rules they're playing here, and you've also got the Black Ball Association, which is affiliated to the WPA. the black ball rules, in my opinion. Just a bit more attacking, but organisation-wise, not as strong as these. Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, I not anymore, but I've played in 3 leagues local to me, and you got 3 different sets of rules.
Yeah, before I came to university, growing up in the pubs we played some very backcountry rules, I think, compared to the official stuff that's laid out now.
Yeah. You originally from York?
Oh, originally from South Devon.
Oh, right.
So.
Well, I'm from Dorset.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I travelled up from Dorset.
Well, that's a long way.
Yes. 6 hours? Something like
Yeah. Oh, that had to be very precise, that. If Mike hit that a fraction harder, that red would have gone in, leaving you in a very tough position in the frame. Got to say, he's played that well, though. Don't know how Adam's going to get out of this.
Loads of Luke just saying off mic there, a lot of tactics in world rules, and there is.
I think that might be one of the major advantages the seeds have. If they come from a different set of rules. The new players maybe not played world rules so much.
It's also about, it's about knowing the rules. I think that's where I think, I don't, whether I like the rules or not, it doesn't matter. As long as the 2 players that are playing understand the rules, or if one understands them better than the other, then he's got an advantage.
I think that's quite true. I don't think anyone knows the rules of world pool much better than Mike Walsh, living in a house with 3 other members of the first team.
Right.
Quite a way off with that double. What's more, he's flicked another yellow, safe on the top cushion. Mike securing both sets of pockets now.
Yeah, he's taken, that's definitely advantage, Mr. Walsh, I think. There. Then you've got 4 more to cover. And this frame will be his.
Yeah. I think he knows the cameras are watching, so he wants to put on a good show.
That'll be a good time to actually tell people that Q Sport TV will be changing on the 1st of March. We're moving from the current website that you're currently watching Q Sport TV onto a brand new site on the 1st of March, which is next Tuesday. All the content will be still available on there. It may take us a few days or a couple of weeks to try and sort everything out. So it's moving all the data from one place to another. It's essentially going to be a lot easier for you to find what you want to watch. So definitely put that date in your diary.
I think Mike's trying to work out how he's actually going to win this frame, because although he's in a position where it's very hard to lose with all of Adam's yellows around that, it's going to be equally quite hard for Mike to clear, given the current position.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of life left in this frame yet. I don't think it's going to be one that's finishing particularly soon.
No. I'm not sure if that yellow in the bottom right corner might plant onto that red and might be able to draw it out if he hit it absolutely perfectly. I think that's what Adam was looking at a second ago.
Well, Adam's got a possible chance here looking at this corner. Well, it's moved away now, but the corner shot there, the 2 yellows looked as if they may pop in past that red.
Yeah.
But it's the one above the cluster, I think, is going to be his problem.
I'm not sure if it might be a shot to deliberate foul and pot play yellow and cover the pocket with his own yellow, then Mike wouldn't have a foul snooker because the other red's in play, and he'd have that problem red to deal with. So I think that's what possibility for him might be. Only 3 to go. Another pocket covered.
That's it, yeah. Middle one's a bit more hard to cover though, aren't they?
Notoriously difficult to cover the old middle pockets, but I'm sure that won't stop the grinder Mike Walsh from trying.
He's just playing for TV time now, isn't he? That's it. He's live on the web. He wants to get as much time as he can on air. No, it's just funny. Sometimes frames just go this way. No really early opportunities, and you find you get yourself into a bit of a tactical battle.
I think if you do commit to playing a lot of world rules, it's very informative.
Yeah.
Well, I've certainly learned a lot from watching these very turgid frames. But it gets you a good grasp of the rules, I think. I think Mike's just going to hit this red away from that pocket. Get rid of his only problem ball, really. Plays it towards the middle. An intelligent shot, you've got to think.
Yeah, it's definitely open now. The right-hand side area is still advantage to Mike, but it's going to be how he's able to develop those reds if he has. Basically, he wants Adam to develop them for him, is what he needs to do.
I think Mike might just be looking at potting all his balls and then maybe even moving on to potting some of Adam's yellows to leave Adam with no option but to play into that cluster. I think he's... I think Adam might have decided to try and just shield Mike from all of his balls, forcing Mike to give away the foul. That could imply that yellow can pass below the red.
We saw it on the angle earlier. I think we get a shot of it now. Yeah, that yellow does look as if it would go in off the red.
Not anymore. I think
No.
Mike's plugged that hole. That was a very delicate shot by Mike. That could have gone awfully wrong for him, giving away 2 shots and the red over the pocket if he'd have played it a fraction too hard. As it is now, Adam's got 2 visits, but you wonder what he's going to do with them.
I think he's calling for a foul snooker here, is he? No? Was it touching?
It can't be a foul snooker, I don't think, because he'd be blocked off by one of his own balls. It can't be a foul. He's right up against it. The cushion doesn't count in the foul snooker rule, I don't think.
I think he perhaps...
Touching ball he was asking for, I think.
I didn't know it was that, or it was frozen as well. It still wasn't frozen, so...
Adam playing a deliberate foul. He might have had that.
He may give himself the advantage here now.
I think that shot was always on. It's a pity for Mike he couldn't get that second red out. Could have saved himself this headache now. I think Adam could be favourite here.
So this kind of level, I just don't think I've got the patience for this type of game. By now, I think I've had a go.
I think Adam's shown good tactical awareness there. Not seeded.
Yeah.
I think a newcomer to the Durham University team, actually, so doing very well.
I think possibly going to give 2 away again here.
I think Mike just realised what an awful situation he's in, just try and get any way he can get that red out. I think he's got to try and take that line of action.
See those little cluster there in the corner.
Mike's brought a referee over to call for a ruling on it. I'm not sure what he'll be asking here.
I'm on reds.
You're on?
I'm on reds.
You're on red.
So if you want to have a look at it.
Is he going to try and hit that red? Is that why he's called the red?
Red before the yellow.
Yeah, I think he's going to play the red here.
Okay. I'm also going to hit it quite hard.
Let's see from this angle, I think better whether he's going to hit that red first. The referee's been called over to do what referees do.
Very important shot in the context of this match, you got to think.
Yeah, I think he's hit the
I
red
think
fine
that's a
there.
brilliant shot.
That's a very good shot.
I did not think that shot was on, looking at the table from this angle, but
Oh, yeah, 2 as well. So he's developed the red.
yeah,
But he's got
the
a
red.
good
I
chance
think
here
that's
now.
the only reason he could have played that shot, really, because it's taken.
Got he had 2 because he walked away from the table.
That would have been a pretty atrocious shot with any one visit. I think it could be okay now here, especially with the black where it is. It's got a bit of insurance.
Yeah, I think calling out the referee must have confused him. He forgot he had 2 shots.
I think that's very good idea to bring the referee over in that situation to make sure there's absolutely no controversy.
That's right, yeah.
A crucial frame for Mike, really.
Well, it's no good doing it afterwards, is it? That's the thing. You need to call it beforehand.
No. I'm not sure how he's going to play these 2 reds. I don't know if they plant into each other, actually. I think the ones on the left-hand side of the table aren't going to pass each other, I don't think.
Well, I think he might be able to force this red down the rail into the pocket, but the other one's then going. The other red is then going to
ricochet
move away
across.
from the corner. So I think he's going to take that one first.
Cut the one in by the corner pocket, I think. There it is. Oh,
That's a good shot.
you could see him lining that up before he took the shot. The dislodge on the black. Nice.
Nudge the black out of the way. Use the black to slow the cue ball down. It's back in prime shape again here now. Just need to slowly roll this one in. We didn't want to go too far off.
I think he's overhit that a little
kiss
bit.
on the yellow's okay there.
Yeah. Acting as the brakes for his cue ball there.
So this black to the centre, then we'll level this game up again. 2 apiece. Either player really dominated so far. Some good use of the rules and a good little shot there from Michael Walsh has managed to level this game up. First to 4, of course, in the what is effectively the 3rd round, but the 1st round proper, I suppose. It's a bit like the FA Cup, this.
Well, if that was the case, Adam, you've got to say from the seeding, would be Crawley Town. And Mike Walsh, not Manchester United, but maybe a worse team in the Premier League. I think Adam did really well in that frame. From the break, Mike had a huge advantage, and Adam causing quite a lot of difficulties there with some good knowledge of the rules and twisting that pocket situation around. I think
That's right.
Adam should take some confidence from that.
That one shot on the red, which really won it for Mike with the 2 visits.
That could have gone one of 2 ways, I think. Could have easily played one of Adam's yellows with that shot. Shouldn't be too downhearted from that. Correction there. I was told earlier by one of the Durham lads he was a newcomer, but I think I was being wound up. Actually, 6th year at Durham University.
Then he should be finished by now, surely.
I think he's
6 years at uni.
I think it might infer he's doing a bit too much pool playing. Keep failing years at university, perhaps. Adam's gone in off there, off the break.
Big chance then for Mike Walsh to try and muster something up at the first visit. What colour would you be taking?
I think I'd be taking the reds, considering there's no problems. There's one yellow on the cushion there, and that red on the right does pass it into the bottom right corner pocket.
Oh, that one.
There.
Yeah, that one on the right hand side of your picture now, yeah, it does pass into the bottom right. The only one tricky is that one in the centre, just to the right of the black spot, which looks like it does go either top right or into the right middle, actually.
I think if Mike can play, cue the one in the centre of that bundle, just above it. Might be able to dislodge it.
Going yellow.
Going yellow shows what I know, really.
Open table. Very open table now, actually.
Going for the difficult shot with ball in hand. Quite a high risk strategy, you've got to think, because if he missed that shot, he's always going to open up all the balls. Mike might have got what he wanted in the end. Nice open table. Adam missing the long yellow. Still an open table.
Strange frame, this one. Very strange.
I think Mike would be pretty devastated to have missed that, much like Adam with the previous shot. These two players have been playing quite well, you've got to say. You wouldn't expect them to miss either of those shots.
No, two, what I would say is relatively routine balls there, really. Now he's in amongst the balls here, this...
Much more open frame than the previous.
I'm sure that can be changed, though.
If I know Mike Walsh, I think that black might be laid up next to the red over the middle pocket at some point during this frame. I think he's playing for the yellow into the middle. It's quite a big pocket that with the red shadowing it really. Also free up the black if you can play it off the red. It'll free up the black to that middle pocket as well.
Yeah. Just to keep you informed about what's going on for the rest of today. No more team matches today. They start again tomorrow at 9:30. The main focus today is the individual championships, which will be played down to including the quarterfinals, which Q Sport TV will be showing live. So we'll be showing at least one match from each session up until the close of the quarterfinals this evening, which should be, well, judging by the time now, probably about 8 o'clock, I reckon, 9 o'clock maybe.
Tim Rees leads, Paul Joyce from Morgan, Daniel Turner Warwick.
And, the main focus tomorrow, as I say, is the final group stages of the team championship and the team shield. I think the speed pool tomorrow night as well.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think neither of these players may be favourite in that event.
I believe it's 4 tables, isn't it, in a row or something like that? 5 tables. And it's like a relay.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what it was last time.
That's my first time here.
And you have to clear, I think it's every ball on the table. And then tag the next player onto the next table. That's how it works.
Interesting, much like the Riley's challenge then. With 4 tables. I think Adam's put himself in a spot of bother here because he's opened the table right up. But now all he's left himself with, I think, is a pretty tricky double that may not go to middle or a safety shot.
Well, I say the quarterfinals will be finished by 8 o'clock, but of course this one could still be running. There's potentially another 3 frames in this one. Well, this one and a further 2.
I think Mike's taking his time here, working out how he wants to go about clearing these balls. There's no problem, especially for someone with the confidence Mike has. But he does spend quite a long time thinking about how exactly he's going to go about it.
think here he's going to go game here. He's got to. The balls are. He's not going to get them in a better position. No point looking for 2 shots. The balls are out in the open. You should be able to. If you say he's a snooker player, he's got good pedigrees. You know, seeded. Was it seeded 8s? Was he?
Yeah,
he should be taking these balls out. Well, I say he should be taking them out, and he hasn't.
Oh, he's mortified with that.
Chance here now then for Batman.
Right. Yes. I was thinking more along the lines of the Family Guy mayor. my Adam West joke. Batman, more well known. He's played a nice shot there, but still got the problem with the black. Could leave himself a double, the opposite middle. Fancy that's the shot.
I mean, he can probably screw off the side rail here, back up to where the sort of centre of the table. You might be able to play the black in the bottom left.
Yeah, that'd be a good shot if you can pull that off. I'm not sure how much he'd fancy hitting it at pace though, especially more or less down the cushion. Don't take exceptionally well. Lovely tables.
He's looking here to finish low on this black and take it in off the red to the right of the one over the middle bag. That's what he's looking at here.
You've got to pot the balls.
You've got to pot the yellow first, yeah.
I think he might have been thinking more about the next shot with that one.
Opportunity number 2 then for Michael Walsh.
I think Mike just needs an opener here. I think the balls are in fairly easy positions. He needs to make sure the first pot, and from there he should be more or less guaranteed to knock out the rest of them. Taking the long red into the back right. And no mistake this time.
Oh, it's the little pocket. You seem to be looking as if it rolled or something last time. No, not heard any complaints about this table as yet.
Sticking his cue towards it like there'd been a kick or something, but
yeah.
I think it's pretty tough to complain about the kick when you're playing the plant.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant shot.
Draws that ball back. Just needs to play a little gentle stop shot here. Play the red to the top left. Didn't need to do too much with the cue ball. Absolutely perfect. He's got a little bit of angle, so he's going to need to come probably off the cushion here first for the black.
Not sure which. Not sure how far he's going to screw this back, or if he's just going to drop it in and leave it. The white on the cushion. Back is queuing to knock in the black,
right.
even though it's on the cushion. I don't know.
I think the saying he's got. Seems like he's got a little bit of an angle there, so he might have to force it off the rail and back out to centre to play the black in the.
That could be it. That could be the shot.
Bottom left.
It's just off straight.
Obviously, doesn't feel he's got enough of an angle. He's had a look at that. I think he's prepared to leave this quite close to the rail here.
Quite a high pressure shot sitting at Adam's ball. Any mistake will be punished, you've got to feel.
You say that, but he made a mistake in the earlier on in this frame and really should have been punished, but wasn't. Oh, he screwed back. That's a nice shot. He's left himself 2 options here. He can drop it in the middle, or he can go to the top right corner. Probably going to opt for the middle bag.
Oh, it's a brilliant bit.
Down it goes. So 3-2. The first time I think Michael Walsh had a lead in this match. And at an important time. It puts him on the hill. Only 1 frame required.
He's got to feel very fortunate there after letting Adam back in. Adam's given no indication that he missed the balls like that, but he has done. Mike Walsh playing a lovely last red there. Trusting his queuing to avoid the middle pocket with that draw shot.
Yeah. I think the next match we'll have on Q Sport TV is likely to be a match from the last 64. The good thing about these venues as well is that, like, you go to a normal pool club or whatever, a round of 64 players would take 4 sessions. Whereas here you can do it all in one go because you've got 36 tables in here, I think.
Yeah.
2 banks of 18 tables you've got in here.
Lovely tables as well. No sloth. good things being said about these tables. Kept in perfect condition. Referees going around brushing and eyeing.
Yeah.
Well, much appreciated.
The English Pool Association run a lot of their own events here. It's a Great Yarmouth. The interleague finals, the county finals are all held here.
Mike breaking off with his 9-ball cue again. Got to hope to control the cue ball more than he has been doing. Oh, that's a lovely split. Red
Black's
ball
tied up though.
Oh yeah. Mike opting for the red balls here. Only one problem. Previously pointed out off Mike, the black being tied up, which Mike has immediately fixed.
Yeah, I think one of the things that, you know, decent players, they'll take a good hard look at the table after the break and find any difficult balls, and their first shot generally is to try and make that difficult ball a little bit more potable, and that's what Mike has done there by making the black available. He can now take this run out. It would be our first break and run.
It's a very difficult shot playing it down the rail.
I think I spoke too soon, didn't I?
Only 6 balls short, but I think Mike's got second prize there. Nicely covered that pocket, and Adam's got a difficult ball underneath the right middle pocket. He's going to have to sort out.
Yeah.
You've got to think Mike's going to be getting back to the table unless. Starts off confidently, lovely little run-through shot there.
It's been a good match, this one, though. A couple of tactical frames, but
enthralling, good matchup.
Yeah, both players
you often get walkovers and uneven games, and last 28 with one senior player, but Adam certainly playing very well. Adams played an absolutely brilliant shot there, forcing his yellow in a pocket that Mike previously thought he controlled. That's turned the frame on its head, you've got to think.
Yeah, now makes it a little bit more difficult, and also means that the frame's not going to be over at this visit, probably. It's going to leave a little bit of work now.
I think that Mike might look at getting himself a bit of insurance by covering this black pocket here in the bottom left.
What's the prize money in this event, do you know?
It's £800 for the winner, £400 for the runners-up. I think £200 for the semi-finalists.
And 100 for the quarters.
100 quarters, and then I believe it goes all the way down to the last 32 losers, get 25 quid each.
Oh, right.
So not bad on the student budget.
No. And it was what, how much is it to enter the singles?
It's £10 for enter.
It's good value, really.
I believe university sports pay for the entrance for a lot of universities. Certainly in New York we do, but also have to return any prize money. Mike's done what I said there. He's covered the pocket.
Oh, so to pay the entry, you have to return the prize money. Is that how it works?
Well, it's a controversial issue within our university, because in Nottingham, Matthew Robson took out a big prize fund, which he kept, but then the teams also won both competitions at that tournament and won prize. But I think the team prize money goes back into the club,
right? But
the individuals, depending on the amount, generally gets key fed.
Right. You don't mind giving your tenner back if you won 800,
right.
though, do you? I'll pay my entry fee back.
Yeah.
That's not bad. 800 quid. That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good first prize for the amount of players we've got here.
And Monday night's a terrific weekend. I think everyone's really enjoying it.
And
really good setup.
How long could a student live off 800 quid?
Quite a long time.
Yeah.
Mike might be able to upgrade his £10 9-ball cue that he's currently sporting. Should he get the...
Well, with 800 quid, he'd be able to do another 3 years at uni.
Yeah. Oh, I might be able to get another PhD under his belt.
Chris Swiss Green, Manchester, Totmore, Gloucester. Swiss Green, Manchester, Totmore, Gloucester.
I think Adam's probably looking to cover this pocket straight back.
Well, yeah, he seems to want to get involved in a tactical battle, and so far it hasn't really worked for him.
No, I think that would be a dangerous decision, considering how well Adam's been clearing out the balls, it seems. Aside from the last frame, played really well, but I think it's just going to go down to knowledge of the rules and experience. I think Mike could be favourite.
It's just this yellow on the right-hand side. Not sure where this yellow goes. He might fancy taking on the double.
Yeah, and the double does go to the opposite middle. I'm currently looking at the yellow above the black. I'm not sure what he wants to do with that. At the moment, it could be doing a bit of a favour because it's cutting off the potting angle on the black. So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, strange shot, but you've got to think that Mike still has that red tied up in the top left corner pocket,
Yeah.
so Adam's waiting for him to move it.
Yeah, well,
Yet
maybe Adams just wants the black and the yellow in potable positions, so when he gets into the final straight, as it were, he can actually clear the table.
So there's no going back to the rules thing. If you play black ball rules, there's no actual advantage about tying up the pockets, because as long as you make contact with your ball goes in, and the other ball goes in. That's fine.
Oh, that's a very different rule then, isn't it? I think Mike wishes they were playing those rules around about now.
Yeah. I think you can double this, across the table.
Oh, I do well to avoid the double kiss, surely, on this double.
No, possibly not.
Rob Stringer, Bath, David Locke, Nottingham, Gary Wallace, Abate, Robert Hardiman, Knox.
I mean, I think there may be an advantage to him moving this red now, because this yellow on the right-hand side doesn't really look as if it pops anywhere unless he fancies taking the double. And obviously Adam had moved his other yellow down to the bottom rail as well, which again is not in an ideal position.
Yeah, absolutely agree. If Mike can get this red out without giving away two shots, he'll be happy with the situation in the frame. Adam's got two very difficult balls to pot. And the ball over the pocket won't give him that good a scope to get position on them. It's so far away. I think in trying to avoid the double kiss there, I think he's forced that into the back, onto the back
At least
cushion.
it's loose now, so Adam really now has got to take this chance if he can find something, if he can muster something.
I'm looking down the line at this yellow below the cluster of reds on the right hand side, and he can cut that down and cover the pocket.
Yeah, can he get in between the yellow and the red?
I think that's why he's played, but I think he might have potted that.
Great pot, he's not left himself ideal on this bottom yellow. He's probably going to have to go to the yellow at the top rail here.
I mean, it's an incredibly difficult shot to take the one in the top and then bring it back down again, because when it's that close to the pocket, it's really hard to bring it back off the jaws. But I think that's going to be his only option, really.
A little bit of thinking time required, I think, here.
The problem he faces is there's very little safe space on the table. It'd be very hard to play a safety shot, and even to cover that pocket would require the thinnest of cuts.
There's one option here. You could play the double towards the other yellow. I don't know he's looking to cut that.
I think he might be. I think this is optimistic. He's trying to cut it. I think he thinks if he plays it the right way, he'll cover the pocket if he doesn't pot it, and then he should be okay in the frame. But he has to absolutely batter this. He's got a bit lucky there. he's potted the yellow in the far jaw, but I think he's left himself snookered on this on the final yellow.
I just want to look down that line there. I think he may be able to see one edge of it, but not ideal enough, really.
He's asking Mike if it's a total.
Do you want to explain the total snooker rule to our viewers?
Well, the total snooker rule, if you cannot see both any of the ball you're playing towards, and then you hit it, you're allowed to hit that ball without touching a cushion after contact, which of course in world rules, after every shot you have to either pot or hit a cushion after contact with any ball. But when you're in a total snooker situation, that rule does not apply, but he's looking to swerve this. So. Oh, and he's almost played a brilliant shot, but he's got very unlucky that.
I think he realises that could be curtains because he's got 2 visits now, and Adam giving those 2 visits away, Michael can afford to pot his reds and move the black, you see.
Yeah. That's in 2 frames. He's got quite unlucky there, Adam, giving away 2. In every frame he's lost so far, he's given away 2 shots, and Mike's cleared up from there. And you've got to say, those 2 shots he's given away haven't necessarily been completely his fault. He's just got quite unlucky.
So this could be it. It could be Michael Walsh stepping into the last 64 of the individuals here at the UPC BUCS 8-ball championships in 2011.
As long as he gets the white above the black here, so he can at least hit it down towards that corner pocket. That can be the only thing Adam's hoping for. Something crazy happening off the jaws.
He knows he can afford to move the black, but it's now where do you move it?
I think maybe he'll play the soft double towards the middle. Even if it doesn't go in, then you can leave it over.
Yeah. Well, this could be a good little touch shot then from Michael Walsh. This black 4, a 4-2 victory. And for him to step into the second round. And there comes the handshake. Adam will be a little bit disappointed with the way that that's gone. But 4-2 it does finish to Michael Walsh. And our next match, within the next sort of 5 or 10 minutes, must say thank you to Luke from York University. Thank you very much for your commentary there.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Okay, we're going to start the last 64. James Horn, Durham, Matthew Thomas, Gloucester, Nick Rogers, Strathclyde, Thomas Dawn, Exeter. Ben Emberley in the room, please. Ben Emberley from Canterbury. Wimbledon, Cardiff.
Good afternoon. We're into the last 64 stage now. We've got Mick Rogers and Thomas Gawn. And joining me in commentary is Ben Embley. From what university, Ben? I haven't been informed. There you go. Again, they've given me the names of these two players, but I actually don't even know. Oh, one's from Exeter, because I can recognise the shirt. And one is wearing red. I don't know who he's playing for. Possibly. So have you got a team here, or...? Yeah. Hold on a second.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to say good afternoon to Ben Embley again, because we had a bit of a technical problem there, so good afternoon, Ben.
Good afternoon, nice to meet you. And that's an unlucky break. There really isn't anything on there, all we can do is just park it up behind the red. I think this may be a long frame.
So you still in the last 64 yourself? Or?
No, I'm not. I was knocked out in the last 256 by John Swaback.
Right.
Of York. He's currently in his match against I've forgotten what his name is, Nick, and he comes from Manchester
right.
University. He was one of the last the top 16 seeds. Last time I saw it was 1-0 to John.
Don't worry.
Still open table after 3 visits. Now if that yellow has blocked his shot to the pocket, that's quite unlucky.
I'm just going to leave you for a second, because I'm just going to find out which player is which.
Okay.
Right?
He's going to try and free up the red. Safety shot. Cue balls now pushing, restricting the type of shots that he can play.
Right then, worked it out now. Mick Rogers is wearing red, and you are correct, he is from Strathclyde. And we've got Thomas Gawn from Exeter. I think it should be quite an open game, this one. They're both they're potting machines. The standard of this tournament gets better every year. Obviously, you get new players coming through, new universities coming through, so
yes,
the standard getting stronger. By the same token, of course, you do lose players, but although some of them seem to have been playing for about 9 years.
Yes, I think I've actually been playing as part of the Maidstone League for 7 years myself.
Right.
And when I went to the University of Kent in 2001, I was part of the pool scene at that university, winning the university team event in 2003.
Yeah.
That was the first time I was really exposed to competitive pool. club, Buckland Hill, Maidstone. I started getting involved with the action there, which led me to become involved with the Interleague and the Maidstone League.
Right. Strong league over in Maidstone, is it?
We do have a very strong league. One of our regulars is Ian Hubbard, who's currently the captain of the England B team.
Yeah, I know Ian.
He is currently over in Europe now for the European Championships.
In Malta.
That's right.
Mike Walsh, 10 minutes.
I'd like to take an opportunity to say hello to a pal of mine, Darren Henley, if he's listening in live, and all the other guys at the Maidstone Snooker Club. I think the real battle is in this bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, not. I think we're in for a bit of a long frame in this first frame.
I thought it would be. The best thing for it's Mick who plays for Strathclyde, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
I think personally the best thing for Mick to do is just hit this yellow and knock it up to the top of the table, which he's done, and he's got a very, very nice angle. Safely snookered behind the yellow and the black. This is a very nasty bank shot he's got. Sorry, did I say bank? I meant a kick shot. Don't know why I said that. That's a good result. He's a fast table, so he had to judge the pace very, very, very finely. I think the only thing Mick can do here is go for another snooker, because the balls really aren't in his favour this match. Another fine cut and another fine snooker. And I don't think he can get to that red covering the pocket. If he judges it just fine, but it takes a lot of skill to do it, he may be able to hit the red. And cannon it on to the red over the pocket, but no, he hasn't done that. He's gone for the snooker. That's a nicely judged snooker. He can't go for a deliberate foul because of the way the balls are distributed. Oh, that was a lucky one. Either that or the balls were nicely positioned for an easy plant. We couldn't see from this angle, I'm afraid. And I think it may be frame over now for Strathclyde. No, he decided to go for the safety instead of trying to clear up. I'm not sure if he was able to get onto the bottom two balls by the corner. If he potted that red into the middle pocket and then the leftmost red into the bottom left-hand pocket. He should go for the clearance here. These balls are distributed quite nicely. I wonder why he didn't decide to take the plant. With a bit of decelerating top right, he could have knocked that in and got a nice result. Put the ball where it is now and then pocket the second red. problem is he's left himself a rather nasty angle and he's missed. Only one real problem ball here for Nick. That's the one with the cushion. I spoke too soon. Top right. Top left, sorry, but no. It's become a comedy of errors this frame, so the next one's better. It should be frame over now.
Go on, Tommy.
That's it, next frame.
Tommy. Come on, mate.
balls, it was exciting.
Second frame. So nice to see so many universities and so many different people coming to these events.
Go on, Dave!
There's approximately 300 to 400 people in this event, combined the singles and the team events. A lot of emotion, lots of testosterone, there's lots of passion, lots of competitiveness. And that was a nicely judged shot by Thomas. Shots like that, you have to keep the cueing really laser straight. Don't cues dead straight, you're in trouble. So you need to hit the ball in the right way. You want lots of spin, you accelerate through the cue ball. If you don't want the ball to travel, you decelerate through the cue ball. Needed a little bit more power on that if he wanted to park the cue ball by the black. But he's left a few pots on. If you don't know your opponent's abilities, leaving a pot on is never a good move. You may be able to develop the red and the yellow together. No, he's gone up for the cushion. Snatched at that.
Far too hard, I think, there, didn't he?
You shouldn't really hit the ball that hard, because if you hit it hard, you lose the ability to control the cue and the cue ball. So it becomes really pot luck, no pun intended. But he's left a shot on, but it's quite a risky one if he doesn't hit it correctly, because he could go in off. No.
I think just happy to settle with hanging the ball over the pocket there, I think.
Yes, I think so. Don't know what he's doing here. Has he got away with it? Has he fluked the snooker? Can we get a camera angle in there or something? looks like he just passes. Oh, he's gone for a deliberate foul. I have no idea what's going on. It's very unusual. It wasn't a foul. It wasn't a foul snooker. So I haven't got the foggiest idea what he's thinking. I don't know, I couldn't hear from him. Well, even if it is a foul snooker, I didn't see him nominate. Christ knows what happened there. The score's 2-0. No, it looked perfectly legitimate, yes. He went a shot, fluked the snooker, then he decided to play his ball onto his opponent's. Sorry, his opponent's ball onto his. And you can't do that. I think somebody needs to brush up on their rules. That's not a bad break. Before you get some controversial moments.